Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Dynamo video. In this one, we're talking about Monday Night Football. We got the Niners and the Vikings. Excited for this one because I'm a Niners fan, so let's get into it. We got 5 really good picks for you guys. As always, if you didn't watch our last video, Sunday Night Football, we actually went 4 for 5. Barely didn't hit it. DeAndre Swift didn't hit his over on receiving yards of like 21.5, but all the other picks did. So if you want to see how we build out winning lineups, like hopefully what we're going to do in this one, definitely check that Sunday Night Football video out after this one. Also, if you're not playing on Thrive Fantasy, you're leaving free money on the table plus a free square for tomorrow's game. You get Brock Purdy over a half passing yard for new users only who sign up and deposit $25. Also over here on Thrive, you get some cool props like Brandon Ayuk over 25.5 on his longest reception. Same with Kittle, things like that. Different lines over here as well, so take advantage of it. Plus slightly higher payouts over here on Thrive. So go get that free square and 100% deposit match on Thrive. It'll be linked down below. For this video, looking at this game, we have the Niners as 7-point favorites, over under just 43 points. So for this video, my picks are going to be based on around the same total, maybe a little even under this, and the Niners winning by more than 7. I kind of like them on the spread more. I think it's going to be a pretty dominant game here for the Niners without Justin Jefferson. Even though the Niners are going to be a little banged up, I think that just the defense is going to really shut Minnesota down in this one. So with that said, my first pick is going to be Brock Purdy, and we're going to take him over on the passing yards here of 235.5. Really like Purdy in this one. I think that they're going to give the young quarterback a good script here to have a really nice game following maybe his worst career start ever last week. I think they're going to try to build his confidence back up. Give him a big game here for Purdy over 235.5 yards. I really like this one. I think it's a perfect spot for Purdy here against a pretty soft Minnesota defense. Looking at Purdy so far, 252 yards against the Cowboys, 283 versus Arizona, 310 versus the Giants. Some of these other games, like versus Pittsburgh, he didn't have to do too much. Really ugly, rainy game. Tough for him against the Browns as well. So in some big games, he'll step up and throw for a good amount of yards. They have a ton of guys, even with Debo not playing. McCaffrey, who we haven't talked about yet, maybe not playing either, but it looks like he's going to play. They still got guys like Kittle, Ayuk, that can catch the ball and run after the catch. So I think he's going to get a good amount of yards in this one. The guy that I'm going to pair him with is going to be Brandon Ayuk, who we just mentioned, and that's because, Debo Samuel is out, so that's going to open up more targets for Ayuk probably. We're going to go to his receptions. McCaffrey, who gets a lot of targets, could be limited in this game, is kind of how I see it playing out. And, just even more targets for Ayuk and probably George Kittle as well. Looking at Ayuk, last 2 games, 4 and 4 catches, before that 6. First, against Pittsburgh, he had 8 catches. So he can get a lot of targets and catches in this offense. And specifically when Debo is out, McCaffrey may be limited. I think it could be an Ayuk game here as far as volume. So I'm liking that one. For our next pick, we're going to come over here to OddsJam and use this tool for our 5th pick. Their favorite pick is going to be Jordan Hicks here over 5.5 tackles. Basically how OddsJam works is they compare it to all these other sports books and what their lines are in the industry. So you can see like MGM and Caesars have this at -135. Fliff has this at -140. There's even a site here, Hot Streak, that has this at -9.5. So we're definitely going to take this, and it's a great way to build out some slips when there's only, one game going on. You can get the top picks based on what sportsbooks are picking if you want to build out a 5-pick slip. So if you want to try it out, we do have a promo code for 25% off after a free trial for a week. So definitely check it out in the links down below. OddsJam, definitely a great tool here to find props, and also you could go back and check some of yours and see what sportsbooks are thinking on your picks as well. So for the next 2, we're going to come back to the Vikings, and the first guy I'm going to go to is Kirk Cousins. I think it might be an ugly game for Cousins. Going to go over here. Just needs 1 interception to hit this over. I thought it could maybe be at 1 flat because of how this game projects to go. It projects basically that the Niners are going to go up and be up big basically the whole game. Kirk Cousins is going to have to be throwing a lot to try to keep up with this Niners offense and get them back in the game. So Cousins has 4 interceptions on the season in 6 games, but I think that against a tough defense, he's going to struggle in this one. So definitely going to take Cousins over on the interception in this game. And for my last Viking picks, I'm going to go to Alexander Mattison. And for Mattison, we're going to take the under on his combined rushing plus receiving yards. Mattison has been severely struggling. At some point, they got to just try Cam Akers and see if it's actually Mattison who's the problem and not, how the offense is. Obviously, they were pretty good running the ball with Dalvin Cook last year. Mattison might not just have the same stuff or what it takes to be really like a dominant NFL running back. So I think this could be the game where he kind of gets less work than he's been getting. If we look at his game log, he has 2 good rushing games here against Carolina and the Chargers, and the Chargers actually have the worst defense in the entire NFL right now, if you didn't know that. And then his other good game was against Carolina. Besides that, it looks like he hasn't come close to touching this total. And the last 2 weeks, 2.4 yards per carry here. He got 18 carries. Week before that, only got 8 carries when they were down in that game. So I think being down pretty big, he's not going to see as many carries. And then hasn't really done much in the receiving game here. Pretty inconsistent and not a massive target share. 28 targets in 6 games. So I do think this is going to be a struggle for Mattison in this game. So going to be taking the under on the combination here. If we come back and look, the rush yards at 45.5, receiving at 18.5. So we're getting a little bit of a discount by taking the under on the combo if we don't like either of those. So that's going to be our 5th pick in this one. Just a reminder, if you guys are not on Thrive, definitely get over there. 100% deposit match up to $250 for new users. And you're going to get this free square on Brock Purdy, so you don't have to worry about him hitting 236 pass yards for new users who deposit $25 or more. Also, check out OddsJam. Great place to check your picks before locking them in, and also find new picks that all these sportsbooks are liking that are on Prizepicks. And they even have a Thrive tab up here so you can find the best Thrive picks as well. Alright guys, so thanks for checking this one out. If these lines have changed by the time you're watching this, I do post it in the VIP Discord as well if you're in there. I know a lot of you guys who watch the YouTube are in the paid Discord for Dynamo, so I thank you guys for that. This will already be posted in there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe to the channel. Finally, click on this end card here if the NBA video is up for opening night. Super excited about that video and the NBA season starting up as well.